The tactic has been changed and the goals are now flowing. Things are looking a lot better for us, but we now have two really difficult games. We're playing our local rivals in Saarbrucken and also second place Dewisberg. It's going to be really tough, but let's see how we do. Welcome back then guys to the Red Devil Revival here with Kaiserslautern on FM21. We are here now for episode 5 of our series and we are getting well and truly on here with our Road to Glory series. We're very much into the season now. We've already played 12 games here with Kaiserslautern and we played 2 pretty difficult games in our previous episode. Today we have some very tough ones, as I said, with our local rivals and second place Dewisberg. But last time out we took on supposedly easy teams in Hansa Rostock and Meppen, but it didn't really prove to be quite that straightforward. There'll be a link right above me for that video if you did miss it, if you want to go and take a look at quite what happened. But say we have definitely got one hell of a tough pair of matches coming up today. Before we get going though guys, if you do enjoy this video here today, please do make sure to chuck a like down onto the video. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content such as the Red Devil Revival series or any of my FM21 experiments or FM21 tactics videos, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now though, in terms of what has happened since last episode, as I mentioned in the intro, we have made some changes to our tactics. I will come to the tactic that we are now playing very shortly, but I will run through you the results that have taken place since last time out. So if we go into our schedule, of course, last episode, as I've already said, we took on Meppen and Hansa Rostock. We got a win and a draw. And since then, we then changed up the tactic. I mentioned it in the previous episode about possibly going to my Norwich City tactic that I have for my Twitch stream. And that is indeed what has happened. We swapped to it at the beginning of the Zwickau game, or Zwickau, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. And we instantly got a win. We had a brace from Marlon Ritter, a 2-1 victory. It could have been a lot more. It probably should have been a lot more. But then afterwards, we then took on Magdeburg, and we had a really unlucky defeat in this game. We lost it 2-1, and we scored in the 64th minute and had a chance to make it 2-2, or really, it should have been 3-2. We had some real gilt-edged chances in this match, but sadly, we ended up losing it. I really have no idea how we did, but Magdeburg scored with only the 2 shots that they had on target all game, and we ended up, unfortunately, losing it. Afterwards, though, we then took on Halle away, and we got a 1-1 draw. Away at Halle isn't necessarily an easy side to go to. They're about mid-table, so I was happy to take a point away from them. And afterwards, though, we then took on Lübeck, who were, I think, 16th in the league, at home, and we absolutely pummeled them to bits. We smashed them 5-0. It was a fantastic performance. A hat-trick from Lucas Röser. We have been having issues with strikers scoring. I put Röser up front. It was his first start after having been injured, and he performed phenomenally well in this game. We also had goals from Schmiedeback and Ritter as well. With those results, we ended up getting 2 wins, a draw and a defeat, and in the league it has got us up into 7th place, or I suppose we're still in 7th place because that is where we ended up at the end of the previous episode. As I say, we have 2 very tough games today, but I'm hoping with our new tactic we can get a good performance in those matches. I will show you the tactic first of all. We are playing our local derby first of all with Saarbrucken, a very much must-win game. We definitely cannot afford to lose this game. We are away, so I will take a point, but we cannot afford to lose it. The formation we're playing is the 5-2-2-1 formation, which I kind of called a bit like a spaceship almost. It looks a little bit like a rocket ship, I suppose, or maybe something more dirty, but we won't mention that. But yeah, it's a really good tactic. I have used it now for about 2.5 seasons on my Norwich City save over on Twitch, and it got us promoted from the Championship. We then finished, I think, 5th in Europa League, and we're pushing for the Champions League in only our 2nd season in the Prem. So it really does work phenomenally well. I'm actually going to be making a tactics video for this in the next kind of week or so. It may hopefully should be out before Christmas otherwise it may well be out afterwards. But keep an eye out for that if you're interested in this tactic whatsoever. We have no idea if it's going to work very well with Kaiserslautern. We've only used it in the 4 games and it seems to work quite well. We don't quite have the players for it, so maybe that's something that we can look to sort out once we get into the January transfer window, but it's working quite well currently. We've got Krapikas in net because, of course, he's our first choice keeper. With Kevin Kraus, we then have Carlo Sickinger in our side as our libero. That is our middle of our defensive three, and Sickinger is very, very decent. He's naturally more of a defensive midfielder, and out of all the defenders we have, he's the only one who can kind of play there. He has okay dribbling, okay vision, and okay passing, so he's kind of the only one who can do that role. So that's where he's playing. We then have Mengi at the back as well, with then Schulze and Hluschek as our wing backs. We then have Schmiedeback and Rieder, who is normally a defender for us, in our midfield too. Schmiedeback as a DLP and Rieder as a ball midfielder on defend. Normally I have this as a ball midfielder on support or box-to-box midfielder on support. Due to the fact our players aren't quite as good, I'm finding having him on a defensive role has been a little bit more solid. We then have Ritter as an attacking midfielder. I normally have this either an attacking midfielder or advanced playmaker. I've one team to work quite well. Redondo is then playing as shadow striker, as he's kind of the only player who can really do that other than Ritter. So that's where he's playing. And then Röser, after his hat-trick in the previous game, is starting up front. So it's basically a full strength side. We can still kind of interchange with some of the other players that we have on the bench. Enzo Zidane can fit into a lot of those positions, being a key example. So we will wait and see quite what happens. But that's how we're going to line up for this first game here with Saarbrucken. Let's get the team submitted. Apparently I have to give a number to one of our right backs who's a youngster. So I'll give him 43 because it's the only one that's free. And let's get into this game. Now, as I mentioned, I will most definitely take a draw away here at our local arch rivals. But if we can get a win, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go and say point the finger. So go out there and carry straight on from where you finished off last match. To be fair, most of the boys do agree. I think I'm starting to speak a bit of German in game. So that may be why they're getting a little bit easier to motivate and that type of stuff. But let's get out there. It's a pretty good team talk. We're here away in our red kit. Saarbrucken in their blue and black. And we could most definitely do with a win here, especially with it being a derby game. I keep mentioning the fact it's a derby game because it's a massively vital match. Saarbrucken are only one position above us, it's worth mentioning as well. So we beat them, we then instantly leapfrog them. And of course, with the difficult home game coming up next with Dewisberg, it really is a tough pair of matches here. Early-ish highlight here, 20 minutes played. The first one of the game, and it is starting in our half with Saarbrucken on the ball. Hopefully we don't concede straight away. That wouldn't really do much justice for my tactic if within the first 20 minutes of the opening game that we're using it, we then go and concede. Hopefully Mengi should have that. He certainly does. A very poor clearance though. That is the one issue I'm finding using this tactic at a bit of a lower level, is that where the defenders aren't quite as good on the ball as they are with my Norwich save, they do just kind of hash the ball away and it doesn't really help us out very much. But it worked perfect in the Lübeck game previously, so I'm hoping we can see a bit of a replay of how it worked in the Lübeck game here against Saarbrucken. But early on here with them, we look like we may be under pressure first of all. Shipnowski here for Saarbrucken puts it in, and what is going on? I think we have gotten away with it. I think indeed we have. That was very lucky. That could have gone anywhere, that ball, but it ricocheted all over the place. And thankfully for us, we managed to get it out for a throw-in and away from our net. It's been a very, very quiet game. This tactic is very, very good defensively, but it can sometimes make things a little bit difficult going forwards. But at the moment, it's a pretty even game. It just seems at the moment we're both cancelling each other out, which I'm not necessarily against happening. I mean, you look at the stats though overall, we probably have been the slightly better side, but there's been nothing really major being created from either team. I'm going to say to them, no, we've been the better team here. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll be fine. Nobody cared. So I'm going to say to defenders, there's a lot more to come from you. I'm going to say from the midfielders, I'm disappointed. And the same with the attacker, because we haven't seen enough from them going forward. So I think that's a fair thing to do here in this game. And hopefully we can see a little bit more of a performance from our lads in the second half. I see Schmiedeback's been booked, so I think I'm actually going to sub... Oh, hang on. Let's pause that. I don't want to miss out on what happens. We've got a free kick here from Marlon Ritter, who has been fantastic from his set pieces recently. That one wasn't quite as good, sadly, for us. It's a little bit of a shame. He has really started playing well. I think he's got 4 goals in his last 5 games, as well as quite a few assists. He's really hit some fine form. Kenny Redondo, though, that, my friend, was atrocious. Really, really poor. I'm going to get Enzo on for Schmiedeback, as I did mention. We'll get him on. It's a straight swap, so we're not losing anything out having one or the other onto the pitch. And I may well sub off Rursa for Pori or sub off Redondo, because both of them aren't exactly playing brilliantly. In fact, we will do. I'm going to take off Redondo. I'm going to swap him over with Ritter. We're going to put then Enzo up there in the attacking midfield role. And I'm going to bring on Shift Sheet first of all. And then if things aren't looking any different, I will also bring on Pori, I reckon, as well. I'm going to get us to go attacking, and I'm going to say demand more to the boys. We're getting in towards the 80th minute. It's been a very, very quiet game, and indeed we are not seeing anything whatsoever. So what I am going to do is I'm going to then take off Reader. I'm going to put Reader up front. I'm going to put Zidane back here like so. We'll make him a box-to-box and swap Zidane and Shift Sheet over. We'll put Ritter into the middle like that, and then we're going to get on Pori to play alongside Rursa as well as a pressing forward. So we'll go like so. I don't know if it's going to make any significant difference, but hopefully maybe having that extra man up top can maybe help us out. We have got a highlight here. 89 minutes played. Come on, boys. We've seen so little from either side. It's been a really quiet game. It's been a very nervy derby match. A bit like the Manchester derby in real life. And oh no. Oh no, we've conceded in the 90th minute. I don't know where our central defender was, and I don't really know quite what we were doing. I mean, who is that there? Is that Sickinger pushed right up, and then the two defenders just got caught out with a massive gap in between? That is very, very poor. And as a result, I think we're going to lose it with Saarbrücken's only shot on target in the entire game. And indeed, we have. How have we lost that game? Honestly, Saarbrücken have been so lucky. I'm going to say I can't fault their performance because we didn't deserve to lose that whatsoever. We were very, very unlucky there. We really, really are. And it's just very disappointing that we lost that. That should have been a draw or a win for us, not for Saarbrücken. But unfortunately, we did lose it. And it means we now have to go into the game with Dewisberg, knowing that realistically we have to win or we're going to be in a little bit of trouble going forward. So I will see you for that Dewisberg game in a few seconds. So here we are now for our second game of the episode, and it's not getting any easier, that is for sure. Now here with Dewisberg at home, and it's pretty much the same squad that just played against Saarbrücken. I felt, of course, we were a little bit FM'd. I don't think we really deserved to lose that game. It should really be in a draw, at least. So pretty much most of the same players are starting. There are a few little changes. One being I've dropped Schmiedeback for Enzo Zidane as the DLP. Schmiedeback just did absolutely nothing in that previous game, so I've now dropped him for Enzo. And I have dropped Rursa for Pori up front. Other than that, it is exactly the same squad that played against Saarbrücken. So I'm going to get the team submitted here, and apparently I need to give another number for the same player. I gave him a number last time. Okay, fine. I'll give him number 40. I don't know. Why is it asking me to pick another number for him? I haven't got a clue. Regardless, let's get into the game. And I'll be honest, with the team that Dewisberg have, I don't know any of the players. Actually, no, that's not true, actually. I recognise the name of Moritz Stoppelkamp. But other than that, I don't know any of the other players. I don't know why I recognise that name. I just do. I'm going to go to the boys. I'm going to do pump fist and say, come on, lads, show me what you can do. Apparently, we are the favourites for this game. The pre-match odds and all that stuff. It reckons we were like 6-4 favourites with us being at home. So I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that they reckon we're favourites, considering the Dewisberg are doing as well as they are in the league. They're up there in second place. We're down there in 8th. But you never know. If we can get a win, fantastic stuff. We really need to, considering the fact we lost that previous game. So if we can bounce back straight away, that will be fantastic stuff. It's been a very, very quiet opening few minutes. I see that Dewisberg have already got 3 yellow cards, though. Flipping heck there, guys. A little bit aggressive, our Dewisberg, it seems. Stoppelkamp, the guy I mentioned beforehand, has just put a ball in, and we've missed the header, and Pepic has scored. Great. I don't know who missed the header. It was terrible defending and just atrocious attempted header there. Who missed it? It was whoever this one was there. It was Kraus, who's one of our best players in the air. Fantastic stuff. That's always great when your best player aerially is going to completely miss the ball like that. And then we then proceed to go and follow that up with an absolute crap throw-in. Of course we do, because throw-ins are, of course, the most difficult thing in Foot Manager this year. Ritter, please don't lose the ball, thank you. Let's get it to Enzo. Come on, let's bounce back straight away and get a goal to really kind of just get our morale. Hang on, great ball to Pori. He's got to be offside, though. That wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. It was a good finish from him for once. But Pori up here, okay, look, he's not even close to being onside. Good ball from Enzo. But a really poor run, poor timing even on his run there from Marvin Pori. Really, really bad stuff. Ritter though, come on, straight away, another highlight. Much more action-packed already is this game compared to the previous one. Ritter, decent-ish ball. Oh, hang on. What the hell was that goal? Whatever, I don't care. Pori gets it in just about. I was just in complete astonishment. I was like, what? But it's gone into the back of the net. It hits the post, I think, on the way in, did it? Ritter puts it through. It goes back to the goalkeeper, who then clears it. And then Pori must know the goalkeeper's already doing it because he is instinctively going in for a volley already. Regardless, though, it is back to being 1-1. And you look at those stats there. It's been a very quiet game. So the fact that it's been 2 goals already is pretty nuts. And that goal was absolutely diabolical. But I do not care. Come on, we were in at half-time at 1-1. Because in the fact we went 1-0 down, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. We did manage to kind of react straight away. They scored in the 28th. We then scored the disallowed goal in the 29th and scored again in the 32nd minute. I'm going to go in here, though, and I'm just going to go hands together and say we're not doing bad at all. If everyone continues to work hard, we'll win this. I'm going to say to defenders I'm disappointed with them, though. And I'm going to say the same to the midfielders as well. I'll say to Pori, though, there's a lot more to come from him. And they all look quite motivated, which is a good sign from our lads. If we can go out there and get a nice goal early on, that would do wonders for the morale in this game. And literally, as I said that, we've done absolutely nothing so far, unsurprising. I'm going to make a change then, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off Redondo, and I'm going to put Elias Hoof up there. He says he can't play it, but he actually can. He has all the attributes to do it. So I'll put him in as the shadow striker in behind Pori up front, and we'll see what else that we can do. Schmiedeback is on the bench as an option. It might be worth us making our wingbacks go a little bit more attacking as well, quite possibly. That is definitely the main area I think this tactic and the other previous tactic struggles a little bit, is the fact that normally when you use it, you want to have really good wingbacks. At this level, we just don't have them. We don't have really athletic wingbacks. So that is definitely something I'll be looking for in the January, is a pair of athletic wingbacks, especially on the right-hand side. Right back, I feel, is definitely one of our weakest areas. So when we get to January, which won't be next episode, it'll be the episode after, we'll have to wait and see who we can bring in. But hang on, Pori here. He's going all the way, maybe. Marvin Pori's gone for it. What a goal from Marvin. He's come back into the team and he's scored a brace. The first one was pure luck. The second one was entirely down to his own work there. Fantastic stuff there from Marvin Pori. He gets it in his own half and runs the length of the pitch and still manages to finish it. I was pretty convinced there's no way he's going to score this, because normally when players make long runs like that, they always completely screw up the final shot. But for once, Football Manager didn't do it, and we got to see a goal. So very, very nice stuff. And we're kind of FMing in this time around Dewisberg, because we've had 2 shots on target and scored them both, which is lovely to see when you do it to the AI. It really, really is. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to get on Schmiedeback for Reader. I think that's not a bad thing to do. And I'm also going to take off Schulzer for Hercher. It says he can't play it, but again, he actually can do. I'm going to make us go to balance and do a little bit of time wasting, go a bit more disciplined. And I'm also going to tell Hercher to go more defensive just for the final 10 minutes. As we get into the 80th minute here, I don't want to be pushing up too high and then get caught on the break or anything like that. We're getting actually through this even quicker, so we're going to go cautious now. We're going to go properly time waste if I can. Oh, goodness me. I couldn't click instructions in time, and now there's a highlight. What is going to happen here? Is it going to be a chance for us or another one for Dewisberg? We haven't seen anything from them since their first goal in the 28th minute, and now here in the 90th minute, and everything that means that we will concede. It's a decent ball, and of course it's been bloody well scored. Oh, flipping heck. I know we were kind of pushing our luck, the fact that we were even winning this game, but that is so disappointing. Right, let's pause things up here. Hoof up front, Ritter in behind, like so. Hoof up there as a pressing forward. We'll tell both our wing-backs to go attacking. I'm also going to tell Enzo Zidane he can play as a Mazzala, and Schmiedeback can go to a more supportive role. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything now, unfortunately, but we're going to try it nonetheless. Oh, guys. We need to actually unpause would help, wouldn't it, if I unpaused it, dearie me. Oh, I think we've thrown this game away. I thought we'd done just about enough, and I didn't click the instructions in time to get us to go more cautious and to get us to drop the line and stuff. And as a result, we conceded. And no, okay, thankfully Mengi clears that. I was very worried just then. Is there going to be anything before the end of the game? Unfortunately not. It means that we do not get a single win in either of our games today. And I mean, this game is probably fair enough. You look at the stats there, we only had 2 shots on target all game. Dewisberg are by far a stronger side in comparison to us, the fact that they're up there in second place. But the Saarbrucken game we should have won, and it's just a little bit unlucky. I'm going to say to the boys they were unlucky, and I'm not too disappointed. I would have preferred to win, of course. It does mean, though, that after that draw, we do sit down in 8th place. We are 6 points already behind 3rd position Erdingen. And yeah, the table's looking a little bit scary, I would say, if we are hoping to get ourselves promoted. But as I mentioned earlier on, January is going to be vital for us. This tactic I want to use, it requires some better players, and we do have a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to the transfer window. So hopefully when we get there, we can maybe make some improvements. In terms of what's going to happen next time around, though, guys, we'll go to the schedule. And I mentioned Erdingen in 3rd place. That is indeed what we're going to come back for next time around. It's not too far away. It's at the end of December. And then, more importantly, in my opinion, is the fact we take on FC Bayern Munich in the German Cup 2nd round. So we're going to come back for the vital league game with Erdingen, and then what will just be us getting absolutely pummeled to bits, I'm sure, in the German Cup with Bayern. But that'll all be coming in next episode. Overall, though, guys, that just about wraps up this episode today. A little bit disappointing, considering the good performances I had literally before I started recording, the 5-0 being a prime example of it. The lads obviously got camera shy and went, yeah, no, the camera's on, we're not performing for you now, no chance. Bit disappointing, a little bit unlucky with the Saarbrucken one. It should really have been 2 draws today, but we ended up losing one and drawing one instead. Regardless, though, it's not the end of the world. It's not too far off of the promotion spots, so we do still have a chance to get ourselves up and around the top end of the table. We see a little bit of decent form, and we can easily springboard ourselves back up there. Still, though, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed our episode today. 2 games with a lot of late drama, late goals being scored, unfortunately both against us. If you did enjoy it, though, please do chuck a like down onto the episode. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content here on YouTube, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.